replace critically old pipes and to increase water production. Thus, some 540 kilometers of pipes have been replaced between 2019 and 2024. Water production has expanded by more than 20% over the past 7 years. In the same vein, old and defective bulk meters are gradually being replaced across the island, whereby providing more accurate production figures. To this end, I'm informed by the CWA that 259 new bulk meters have been delivered in December 2023 and are currently being replaced. With the support of Agence Française de Développement funding, the CWA will initiate a procurement exercise in 2024 to replace another batch of old bulk meters. I am further informed by the CWA that from October 2021 to June 2024, it has replaced 64,952 defective consumer meters, resulting in an additional annual revenue of approximately 65 million rupees. Moreover, the CWA also operates an anti-fraud unit, which plays a critical role in reducing non-revenue water by detecting and addressing water pilferage and illegal water usage. Mr. Speaker, sir, overall, the various actions taken in the water sector are yielding positive results, contributing to an improvement in the reliability and efficiency of the water supply system. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, it is very unfortunate that the substantive minister, the Honorable Lejonga, is not in the House today. So, but then, based on the table that the Honorable Minister has provided, I know he won't be able to answer a question because he's not substantive minister. I would like just to make a comment and a question at the same time. In 2017, CWA sold 105 million meter cube of water and 111 million meter cube in 2023. Thus, an increase in sales of only 6 meter cube. From an additional production of 52 meter cube of water that came from a difference in volume between 313,000 meter cube, tabled by the Honorable Minister himself, produced in 2023, and 261 million meter cube in 2017. Based on these figures, non-revenue water, as defined by the Honorable Minister himself, is 88.5%. That is nearly 90%. But I'm sure he won't be able to answer because he's not substantive minister. But it goes on record. If you can answer, please do.
Order, just put your question.
Can you explain to the House?
Put your question.
Can you explain to the House why, therefore? Can you explain to the House, therefore? Relax. Since you mentioned that non-revenue water is on the decline since 2012, these figures say exactly opposite what you are saying.
Mr. Speaker, sir, first of all, my colleague is not present in the House and I'm answering a question. So the Honourable Member cannot say that it is unfortunate he is not here, first of all. Second of all, I have submitted a table giving details of non-revenue water from 2017 to 2023, and in the table, 2020 estimated unaccounted for water is then at 206 millimeter cube of water. 2023 is 202. So from 206 coming to 202, for me it is a decline in estimated unaccounted for water. The Honourable Member is saying the figures are not true, but I leave it up to him to decide.
Yes. Honourable Mohammed.
I didn't say that the figures are not true, Mr. Speaker. I say that the figures that he has provided himself provide a different figure for non-revenue water. Therefore, can I ask him whether the 90% that I'm saying is lost through leakages, theft, commercial loss. Is there a breakdown for this that you can submit to the House?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I mentioned in the reply the various issues that are there, be it commercial losses or be it physical losses, that is theft, be it leakage, be it unauthorized consumption, and meteors accuracy, etc. And also, what are the measures that have been taken? For example, 540 kilometers of water, of pipes being replaced. I also mentioned that defective consumer meters were replaced. 64,000 consumer meters were replaced that will give a proper indication of unaccounted for water. So, Speaker, sir, it's good that I also mentioned replacement of pipes is not done today for tomorrow. It is a long-term process. Had the previous government started at least some replacement of pipes, today, with the huge amount of pipes we are replacing, the situation of water would have been much better. Let me give you some information, Mr. Speaker, sir, to be able to understand. In the year 2023 to 2024, in 1 year only, 246 kilometers of pipe has been laid in-house at a total cost of 900 million. In 1 year. For the years 2010 to 2014, 4 years, they have replaced only 280 kilometers of piping over 5 years. That shows that if at that time there was some vision for this country, they would have started laying pipes, changing kilometers of pipes, and today we would have added on the system that the piping network would have been much better. Thank you.
Right. Next question, Honorable Chief.
B369. B639, merci.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to inform the House that only one officer, Mr. H.S., Family Welfare and Protection Officer of my ministry, was interdicted on the 5th of May of 2023 as a police case had been lodged against him for breach of the Protection from Domestic Violence Act. The officer was interdicted under Regulation 31 of the Public Service Commission's Regulations 1967. That was subsequently amended. On the 16th of May 2024, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has advised that there are no further action against Mr. H.S. My ministry has consequently already made a recommendation to the Public Service Commission to reinstate the incumbent in his post of Family Welfare and Protection Officer with effect from the 5th of May of last year.
Yes.
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président. La ministre peut-elle indiquer à la Chambre si un certain Monsieur R a été suspendu de ses fonctions pour corruption en raison d'accusations selon lesquelles il aurait pris de l'argent en échange de promesses d'emploi, principalement envers les femmes?
Mr. Speaker, sir, with your permission, I wish to reiterate my answer to the PQ that has been put to me, that only one officer, Mr. H.S., I repeat, a Family Welfare and Protection Officer of my ministry, was interdicted on the 5th of May 2023 because there was a police case lodged against him. Only one.
Yes.
Thank you.
La ministre peut-elle indiquer à la Chambre le nombre de caregivers suspendus dans son shelter qui font partie de son ministère et ainsi que le nombre d'années de service? Merci.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would first of all need notice of the question because it's completely different, and I would very kindly, through you, ask the honourable member to learn the difference between suspension and interdiction.
Okay, last one. On the subject, please.
Yes, on the subject. Would the minister inform the House how many of the interdicted officers are agents politiques in her constituency? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, there is only one officer who was interdicted and is being reinstated. How many? N, Papau, N.
Next question, Honorable Amemia.
Yes, B640.
Mr. Speaker, sir, officers of my ministry have reported that following their normal visits at the different retails around the island, a lack of eggs was noted on the shelves. I wish to inform the House that officers of my ministry have been following the situation closely over the past few weeks and conducting inspections at various retail outlets across the island. Mr. Speaker, sir, in fact, early this month, as soon as it was reported that in many cases shelves were empty, I chaired a meeting with the 3 major producers and distributors of eggs who supply 80% of the local market to get a better understanding of the issue. With regard to part A of the question, I am informed by the producers that there has not been a decrease in the production and distribution of eggs around the island. They have pointed out that there had been a noticeable surge in the demand of eggs in this period of the year, which relate to the new consumer behavior, more precisely to panic buying, resulting in a temporary scarcity which has been compounded by the media articles. Moreover, during the meeting, they have shown videos and images of people buying huge amounts of eggs, which, according to them, was for the purpose of reselling at higher prices. These people were profiteering from a supposedly non-availability of eggs, as reported in the media articles, for selling same at higher prices. Mr. Speaker, sir, my ministry issued a communique in mid-July informing the public that there was no shortage of eggs in the market and that we have received the reassurance from producers and distributors that the production of eggs will be increased further for that period. Mr. Speaker, sir, as regards to part B of the question, I wish to inform the House that in the past 4 to 5 months, the producers and distributors have not increased their wholesale prices of eggs, and we have also noted that the retail prices in outlets directly supplied by these producers have not increased. Eggs are available at most retail points at a price ranging from 8.50 rupees to 10 rupees, depending on the size of the eggs. It is to be noted that the price is not controlled, and it is left to be regulated by market forces.
Right, Honorable Amemia.
Oui, Monsieur le Président, est-ce que le ministre est au courant que l'ASIM, Association de consommateurs, a mené une enquête dans 24 supermarchés et à travers l'île, et résultat de cette enquête, c'est que les prix ont grimpé considérablement, passant jusqu'à 13 roupies l'unité de l'œuf. Donc, et dans certains cas, il y a même, dans certains cas, jusqu'à 15 roupies l'unité de l'œuf, donc ça qui fait une augmentation de 30 à 40%. Donc, Monsieur le Président, est-ce que, can I ask the Honourable Minister if she will agree with me that people are finding this price very hard to pay? Fellow Mauritians are finding it very difficult, especially those who does not visit malls.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. ASIM has visited 24 supermarkets. Very good. My officers have visited 405. trade premises, including, you know, shops, supermarkets, mall, whatever it is, where they sell eggs. We have visited 405 trade premises from the 15th to the 27th of July 2024. And, you know, we did also a market survey. We did a market survey on prices of eggs. And like it is, we did a market survey from April till July. We have for Eudor Selection Gross, and it's for 6 pieces. You know, the price in July, it's 56 rupees 25. For Matin Très Gros, for 6 pieces, 59 rupees 35. For Eudor Jumbo, for 6 pieces, 58 rupees 65. And for Eudor Primeur, 12 pieces for 104 rupees and 90 cents. You know, during, as I said in my answer, we have issued a communiqué on the 17th of July, and I've told consumers not to buy eggs higher than 10 rupees. I told them not to buy.
Honorable Tour.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So my question was related to market survey, and same has already been canvassed. Thank you.
Right. Honorable Assevaden.
Monsieur le Président, est-ce que j'ai bien compris la ministre dans sa réponse initiale, c'est que les producteurs d'œufs ont fait comprendre à la ministre que les Mauriciens en général ont changé leurs habitudes et pour le mois de juin, juillet, ils ont commencé à manger des œufs tous les jours. C'est ça que j'ai bien compris, une chose. Deuxième petite chose, Monsieur le Président. Monsieur le Président, je veux dire que...
Honorable Assevaden, wait. I am maintaining order. Honorable Assevaden, I am talking. Can you wait? I can do my job on the chair without your assistance. Thank you. One question, one subject matter, and I will get back to you on a second question. One question. Ask your question. It was intelligible.
Monsieur le Président, ce que les distributeurs m'ont dit, en général, pendant le mois de juillet, les personnes consomment plus d'œufs. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire si les personnes veulent manger plus pendant le mois de juillet? Après, ce que j'ai compris aussi, puisque...
Look, I'm not going back to you. You're not listening to the answer. Listen to the answer. Do not engage in a conversation. Honorable Amdani, please. You ask the question.
L'honorable Ramdani est en train de me provoquer, je ne peux pas rester tranquille, je dois lui répondre, Monsieur le Président. Faudra voir aussi.
Honorable Assevaden, listen to me, you take the point of order, you do not engage in discussions. Okay? You've asked a question, you listen to the answer, otherwise I will not get back to you. Continue, please.
Oui, je vais répondre encore une fois. J'ai dit que les distributeurs m'ont dit d'habitude, pendant le mois de juillet, comme si les consommateurs achètent plus d'œufs. Après, en même temps, il y a la Pâques, il y a la Vierge qui arrive. Ils ont commencé à faire le stock pour pouvoir vendre les gâteaux, ce qu'ils m'ont dit.
Right, Honorable Amiavia, last question.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, it's good and the population is listening what the minister stated to the House, that the prices of eggs has not increased. And also, can I ask the Honourable Minister, she said that her officers went to 425 supermarkets, shops, etc. Can the minister table the result of such survey in the House?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I don't have the list of course I don't have it with me, but I trust my, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Let her reply. But let her reply. Honorable Amiavia. Honorable Amiavia. Honorable Amiavia. You listen to my ruling? No, don't talk over me. I have the microphone. I have told you when you solicit an answer, you wait for the reply. Otherwise, I will not give you supplementaries. I am warning you. No, do not get in an argument with me. Please.
Ils sont en train de mettre en doute l'intégrité de mes officiers. À part ça, Monsieur le Président, Monsieur le Président, je voudrais ajouter quelque chose. Ce même opposition qui font semblant de défendre les consommateurs. Je dois vous dire quelque chose, je dois vous avouer quelque chose. Il y a un membre de l'opposition, l'honorable Echanjuman, qui a téléphoné 2 semaines de cela à mon head de Consumer Affairs Unit pour lui dire pourquoi elle est allée servir des contraventions dans sa circonscription. C'est ça?
Okay, order. Honorable. Yes. Order. Order. Yes.
Après les allégations de la ministre à l'encontre de l'honorable Echanjuman, est-ce que la ministre peut confirmer à la Chambre et à la population que depuis ce qui s'est passé, est-ce qu'elle est pas...
Wait, honorable, wait. Are you taking a point of order or are you asking a question? What is it? Is it a point of order?
Vous permettez à ce que la ministre fasse des allégations gratuites contre un député? C'est gratuit.
What is the point of order? What is the point of order? No, listen, we will listen to the point of order. What is the point? Honorable Asevaden, I am giving you the opportunity. What is
Monsieur le Président, après les allégations, on demande à la ministre de retirer ce qu'elle a dit à l'encontre du député. Où elle va, la police?
Right. Honorable Minister, it is not proper, in fact, to conduct on the character of any member of the Assembly, the more so that he is not present. Kindly withdraw that part.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm just reporting what the head of my ministry told me. I'm just reporting.
Right.
But if it's not proper, I'm going to...
Yes, thank you. Honorable Gulab. Look,
thank you,
I have to... Let me warn honorable members. It might be my first day or second day of question time, but I will not allow the House to get unruly. I will take sanctions if you do not obey the authority of the chair. So please, let us proceed in an orderly manner. Honorable Dulab.
P641.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we all know how vulnerable our country is when it comes to flooding. With climate change, the situation has become even more challenging, especially with the onset of recurrent flash floods. With a view to alleviating flooding, government is investing massively in drain projects as well as other flood mitigating measures. In 2021, an unprecedented sum of 11.7 billion rupees has been earmarked by the government under the National Flood Management Program for the construction and upgrading of some 1,700 drain projects over a period of 3 years. Starting with high-risk flood-prone areas, as at date, some 596 projects for a total amount of 4.9 billion have been completed, and the status of the remaining projects are as follows. 161 projects for a total amount of 4.3 billion are under construction. 7 projects estimated at 5.3 billion are at bidding stage. 911 projects estimated at 39.4 billion are at design stage. Mr. Speaker, sir, with regard to the cleaning of drains, the Land Drainage Authority has earmarked some 1,500 kilometers for the financial year 2023-2024. Around 400 kilometers of drain have been cleaned by the local authorities. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed by the Land Drainage Authority that in constituency number 12, there are some 55.7 kilometers of drain networks, which takes into consideration the 47 drain projects that have already been completed and which amount to some 482 million. It is also to be pointed out that 11 projects for a total amount of 216.7 million are under construction. 4 projects estimated at 172.9 million are at bidding stage. 16 projects estimated at 403.9 million are at design stage. Out of the 55.7 kilometers of drain network, 50.8 kilometers of drain falls under the purview of the District Council of Grand Port for regular maintenance. And the remaining 4.9 kilometers of drain are along classified roads which fall under the purview of the Road Development Authority. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed that for the financial year 2023-2024, funding allocated to the District Council of Grand Port for cleaning of drains and desilting of rivers was as follows. 2.5 million allocated for cleaning of drains, 18 million for the desilting of rivers, and 8 million for cleaning of drains post-Bilal cyclone. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm further informed by the LDA that a maintenance plan was submitted to the District Council of Grand Port in September 2023, and as at date, only 8.1 kilometers of drains out of 50.8 kilometers of drain have been cleaned through contractors. Desilting works along 9 rivers watercourses have been carried out. The desilting of 3 watercourses, namely River Au Bleu, River Délice at Grand Bel-Air and Petit Bel-Air, and watercourse at Cancarol are still pending. I wish to highlight that the onus is on the District Council of Grand Port to carry out regular inspection and regular maintenance such that the stormwater drainage infrastructure within the jurisdictions are cleaned to allow free flow of water at all times.
Yes, and I will do that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So if I got it well from the reply of the Minister, despite funding, I got it well, despite funding has been provided, only 8 kilometers of drains on a total of 50.8 that you mentioned has been maintained by the District Council. What are the actions that are being envisaged by your ministry?
Mr. Speaker, sir, as you know, the LDA now also has the power to enforce. So warning letters has been issued to the District Council of Grand Port because indeed some of our rivers, drains in constituency number 11 and in number 12 are in very bad states. In fact, there has been a case that came up on radio at Grosbieux, which do fall under the purview of the District Council, and unfortunately, nothing has been done, and there were complaints from inhabitants in the region. And I should thank my honorable colleague, Honorable Siratan, and who helped a lot, and we have had more facilities to intervene immediately to solve and bring some peace to those inhabitants.
Yes, and I will do that. Last question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With regards to projects that are being undertaken actually in the constituency number 12, can we have from the Minister a status on the retention pond that where work started in Martaba?
Once again, Mr. Speaker, sir, this project was given to the District Council of Grand Port under emergency, and after 2 weeks of works, given it was an emergency and we needed instant and immediate action on the field, and nothing was being done. And I had no choice but to step in and to request the PS of the ministry to recall the file and to re-award that project to the NDU. And now it's almost completed, and there are some snags that we need to do around. Thank you.
Right, next question, Honorable David.
B642.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed by the Municipal City Council of Port-Louis of the illegal dumping on the street connecting the Royal Highness Street and Apricot Silk Street in the region of Débarcadère, Pointe-de-Sable, by a resident of the vicinity. I'm further informed by the City Council that the scavenging service in the region is providing twice weekly service through a private contractor, and the latter has a responsibility to cart away any refuse found there as and when required. The last site visit was effected on the 12th of July 2024 by the councillor and an officer of the Municipal City Council of Port Louis. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed that the council will remove the heap of soil found there to allow free access on Apricot Street. Moreover, the council will clean and cart away soil and construction debris by the end of this week and will ensure that a no dumping sign is fixed at that particular place.
Yes, Honourable David.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Honourable Vice Prime Minister mentioned very clearly and rightly that there is illegal dumping in that public street. May I know from the Vice Prime Minister whether there have been any preventive or punitive measures taken to address this specific issue of illegal dumping in that street?
I mean, as far as construction debris is concerned, I think that depends on the resident as well. They realize this is it's a road which is used by the public, and they can't just dump everything on the road. I think that to each street, but the councils have the budget to clean, not just in Pointe-Noire, but across the city of Port Louis.
Okay, Honourable Leopold, next question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. B643.
Mr. Speaker, sir, while there is an increase in the rate of cesarean section in all the countries for the last decade, in Mauritius, some 4,321 cesarean sections were done, that is representing 57% of deliveries in public hospital, while in private hospitals, 3,023 cesarean deliveries were done, representing 68.4% deliveries. Now, in Rodrigues, a total of 306 cesarean sections, representing 40.5% births through CS undertaken in the year 2023. The reasons accounting for the increase in cesarean sections being first is the maternal demographic, that is late pregnancies, obesity, diabetes, fetal distress, failed induction of labor, malpresentation, teenage pregnancies, patient not attending antenatal care, HIV positive mothers, or all these other causes of cesarean sections. Mr. Speaker, sir, regarding part B of the question, it's worth pointing out that by undergoing cesarean, the incidence and rate of surgical complications for mother may also increase, and risk of having repeated cesarean sections in the future, that also increased in parallel. Ministry has embarked on a series of measures. One is introduction of maternal and child health care for all women in the reproductive age group, preconception, antenatal, obstetric care, postnatal care, breastfeeding and care of newborn. That also we have introduced and been done by trained midwives in mediclinics, area health centers and community health centers. Gynecologists are 24 hours basis being in the hospital now. At all time, you have a gynecologist posted in the hospital. Awareness campaigns through TV, radio program on maternal and child health, that also been done. Sexual and reproductive health clinic and family planning clinic. Mr. Speaker, sir, in 2023, the maternal and child health handbook has been reviewed to include so many issues, including growth monitoring, and that helps a lot for attending the issues of cesarean section.
Yes, Honourable Leopold.
Can I ask the Honourable Minister whether it is professionally ethical for gynecologists to undergo cesarean section without clinical indications?
See, the indications are clear. It's a question of the gynecologist because this is a very critical period between the time of labor, and I don't think that has any issues of ethical. It's a question of whether the criteria are met to do cesarean sections. It's very difficult to say that it is whether that has an ethical issues. It's more like saving lives of the mother and the baby, because two young age person is involved here. I'm not so comfortable in
right. Yes.
Can I ask the Honourable Minister whether patients, women, they are allowed to ask for cesarean section even it's not clinically indicated?
Yes, so it's all depend upon the gynecologist's clinical finding, because that person, the gynecologist, been following the whole antenatal and knowing that probably if ever there is obesity, diabetes, these are the potential areas where a cesarean section will be indicated. And at the same time, it's more a clinical decision. It's very difficult to reply to this question.
Yes, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Notwithstanding the causative factors mentioned by the Minister, in relation to the high incidence, would the Minister state whether, had there been proper follow-up, incidents could have been mitigated?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. So as I've pointed out, because of now the pregnancies are being late mothers, women with advanced age of pregnancy and other issues coming up, already having previous pregnancies means automatically the rate of pregnancies will keep on increasing, cesarean section will keep on increasing. So it's a matter of how are we addressing all these issues. It's going to come up, but we have to address our NCD problem as well. The NCDs being the major issues and obesity that we've got to tackle, including cigarette and alcohol. Already in the population, there is a percentage of women consuming alcohol and cigarettes. After a long, with some more time, we may come up to a plateau of the increase in the of cesarean section.
Honourable Amphel, next question.
Mr. Speaker, B644.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the information requested regarding Part A and B as a question are being placed in the Library of the National Assembly. However, I wish to inform the House that as at date, there are 197 cremation facilities in Mauritius, out of which 165 are traditional pyres and 32 are cremation incinerators. I'm informed that 16 cremation incinerators are in operation, whilst the remaining 16 are LPG-fired human incinerators, which were supplied by Kanta Electrical India Limited under the Indian line of credit. The second 16 ones, they are not in operation. The contract for the latter 16 LPG-fired human incinerators was awarded on the 26th of July 2019, but no provision for the maintenance was made in the bidding document. The respective local authorities had launched several bids for provision of maintenance services to these incinerators, but they were unsuccessful. In this context, my ministry had, on the 27th of March 2024, invited bids centrally for the repairs and maintenance of the 16 incinerators on a customized basis to allow local service providers to bid, and the closing date for submission of bids was the 25th of April 2024. One offer was received, and after evaluation, it was found to be non-responsive. A second bidding exercise was carried out on the 19th of June 2024, and the closing date for the submission of bid was fixed for 18th of July 2024, following which one bid has been received and same is under evaluation. In the meantime, all requests for incineration received at the level of the different council are being redirected to the nearest cremation incinerators, which are in operation in the respective council jurisdiction.
This issue is causing a lot of anxiety to the grieving families. It's been 5 years now since those 16 incinerators are not in operation. May I call upon the Honourable Minister to kindly look into the matter and treat this issue with urgency, given the fact that in my constituency itself, there are, I think, 2 incinerators that are not in operation. May I call upon the Honourable Minister to kindly look into the matter?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I appreciate that it's a very sensitive issue. I would like firstly to mention that in Grand Port, 2 are operational, 2 incinerators at Rosebel and Plemagnon. That's what I've been told. And we have, as I've mentioned in my reply, we have done The local authorities have done their bidding at their level. They didn't manage to get anybody. As a centrally, we have done the first bid. Nobody, we didn't get any responsive bid. And we have just launched it, and now we have got one responsive bid, and we are trying to work on it. And hopefully we can get a solution. I appreciate you have 16 out of 32. It's not fair. 50% of them are not functional. I appreciate that. And believe me, we are working on it, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, Honorable Ganga Prasad.
5.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in regard to grade 9 and 9 plus, I wish to inform the House that no deloading of the syllabus has been envisaged for the forthcoming National Certificate of Education Examinations 2024.
Yes.
No further question.
Right. Honorable Asevaden. Yes, your turn.
B646.
Speaker, sir, the Central Water Authority supplies water across 6 water supply zones on the island, respective of constituencies. The regions of Konfukro, Highlands, and Belle-Rive are part of the Mar-Uvakwa Upper Water Supply Zone, receiving water from the La Marie Water Treatment Plant, which has a treatment capacity of 130,000 cubic meters per day. According to information from the CWA, the Mar-Uvakwa Upper Water Supply Zone had 79,448 subscribers as at 30th of June 2024, reflecting an increase in view of new morcellements and commercial projects. These have contributed to added pressure on the existing water supply network. Mr. Speaker, sir, in May 2023, in response to PQB 522 from the Honourable Member, the House was informed about the water improvement projects undertaken by the CWA since 2019 to increase the water supply in this zone. This included the commissioning of 2 boreholes, one at La Marie in 2019, supplying 6,900 cubic meters per day, and another one at Valencina in 2022, providing 5,500 cubic meters per day. Furthermore, the CWA has replaced 3.1 kilometers of old and defective pipes out of a total of 3.3 kilometers in the region of Phoenix, Konfukro, Valentina, and Highlands, and the remaining 200 meters expected to be completed by mid-August 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, regarding water supply, I am informed by the CWA that the lower parts of Konfukro and Highlands receive a 24/7 water supply, while the upper part of Konfukro receives 12 hours of water supply daily. I am further informed by the CWA that some 25 inhabitants of Kanchapu, Belle-Rive, who used to be supplied by dug wells in the past, have made a request to be connected to the CWA network. The request is currently under consideration. Mr. Speaker, sir, it must be outlined that the major constraints faced in this water supply zone are inadequate water treatment capacity, old pipe networks, and increasing demands. Actions are being taken on several fronts to address the water intermittency in some parts of the zone. It is expected that water supply in the aforementioned regions will considerably improve after the upgrading of La Marie Water Treatment Plant. I am informed by the CWA that a consultancy exercise to increase the treatment capacity of La Marie Water Treatment Plant to 160,000 meter cube per day through the upgrading of its rapid gravity filtration The exercise has been completed and the contract is expected to be awarded shortly, and works expected to start in September 2024 for a duration of a year. Mr. Speaker, sir, furthermore, I'm informed by the CWA that several pipe replacement projects in the Mar Uvakwa upper water supply zone and approximately 66 kilometers of old and defective pipes have been identified for replacement as from the year 2024, and this includes some 13.6 kilometers in the region of Konfukro, Highlands, and Solferino. These works will concern, among others, Deschalets dans les Briands, Robinson Road, Osman Road, Saint-Paul, Remy Ollier Street, Closel, Balgobin Road, Saint-Paul, Gopi Lane, Closel, Rupchan Lane, Parisot, and Jogu Road and Nehru Lane, Phoenix. Petit Camp, including laterals, Belterre Road, amongst others.
Yes,
I have a small conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, if you allow me. Just to give all the information to the honourable member. In addition to the above planned pipe replacement works for a better efficiency of the network, the CWA intends to drill a duplicate borehole at Valentina to supply water production and further improve the water supply in the Highlands region. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Sevaden.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. C'est bien, Monsieur le Président, que le ministre reconnaît que la distribution d'eau à Kanfukro, Highlands et Bellerive ne se fait pas sur un 24-hour basis. Là, actuellement, quand je pose la question, 3 camions de la CWA.
Honorable Amemia, I have warned earlier about that. You should apologize. Yes.
Je peux. Là, actuellement, à l'heure où je vous parle, Monsieur le Président, 3 camions citernes de la CWA alimentent la région de Kanfukro, Highlands et Bellerive. Monsieur le Président, ça fait déjà 10 ans. J'ai posé la question l'année dernière concernant ces régions spécifiques que le ministre a fait référence, effectivement, à Kanfukro, Highlands et Bellerive. Ça fait déjà, Monsieur le Président, 10 ans depuis la promesse électorale de l'Alliance Les Peuples pour une distribution d'eau 24/7 dans le pays. Ma question est simple pour ces habitants de Kanfukro, de Highlands et de Bellerive, Monsieur le Président. Quand est-ce que cette promesse de 24/7 de distribution d'eau sera une réalité, du moins pour la région de Kanfukro, de Highlands et de Bellerive?
Mr. Speaker, sir, in my reply, I mentioned that I am informed by the CWA that the lower parts of Kanfukro and Highlands already receive water 24/7 supply. And only the upper part of Kanfukro receive 12 hours of water supply. And I have mentioned also for Bellerive, 25 inhabitants of that region, households and household, have recently made a request to the CWA to be connected in the water supply because for many, many years they have been using dug wells for water consumption. And this request is currently under consideration by the CWA to do the needful.
Right. Last question, Honorable Sevaden.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Monsieur le Président, la promesse électorale de 2014 concernait le upper parts et le lower parts. Les gens de Kanfukro, de Highlands, que ce soit lower ou upper, font partie de l'île Maurice, Monsieur le Président. Ma question est simple. Le ministre suppléant, je peux comprendre, peut prendre l'engagement ici dans cette Chambre quand, du moins un mois, une année, une date, la promesse de 24/7 de distribution d'eau sera une réalité dans ce pays.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have also mentioned in the reply what actions are being taken. For example, upgrading of La Marie water treatment plant to have a water supply of 160,000 meter cube. I've informed about various pipe replacement projects in that particular region. And all these measures that have been taken by the CWA will definitely bring more smoothness in the water supply in the region for the inhabitants of all those areas mentioned.
Honorable Navamari, next question.
B647.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we extend our sincere condolences to the family. The patient, ERA, she was admitted at Nehru Hospital on 26 June 2024, and relatives signed discharge against medical advice on Sunday 30th June 2024 to continue treatment in the private clinics. Given that there has been a press article dated 14th July 2024 in a weekly newspaper stating that there has been an alleged case of medical negligence, the matter has been referred to Medical Negligence Standing Committee and the Medical Council. Thank you.
Merci. Est-ce que le ministre se propose de remettre une copie des conclusions du rapport de ce comité à la famille de la dame décédée, s'il vous plaît?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, as stated in the Medical Negligence Committee, so the families will be called whenever the inquiry is completed and given a report to the families.
Okay. Honorable Buddha, next question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. B648, please.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to inform the House that since 1998, price controls on essential commodities have been implemented in response to varying economic conditions with the aim to shield consumers from unjustified price increase and maintain their purchasing power. Currently, my ministry has put in place price mechanisms and control. Number A, the maximum price and maximum markup on 37 categories of commodities for Mauritius, and the maximum price of 23 essential commodities in Rodrigues. Out of the 37 categories of commodities, 25 essential commodities are regulated under a maximum markup regime. These include products such as milk powder, breakfast cereals, canned fish, edible oil, basmati rice, imported fresh fruits, infant milk powder, and baby diapers, amongst others. The markup is capped within a range of 15% to 45%. The remaining 12 commodities, such as gas oil, mogas, LPG, cement, bread, flour, rice, ration rice, onions, and potatoes, are regulated under a fixed maximum price regime to ensure affordability and accessibility for every Mauritian citizen. Mr. Speaker, sir, the government is currently providing substantial financial assistance to ensure that essential commodities remain affordable to the public by subsidizing LPG, like I said, flour and rice. Mr. Speaker, sir, this government has consistently been prioritizing the well-being of its people by implementing these measures and remains committed to controlling the prices of goods whenever necessary. And for that reason, a dedicated team at the level of my ministry conducts ongoing market analysis and monitor the price evolution of essential commodities. Based on these findings, recommendations are made for policy interventions and decisions whenever it is necessary. It is important to note that while controlling prices of goods can provide immediate benefits for consumers and social welfare, achieving a balance whilst considering the economic impact is crucial to ensure long-term stability and sustainable growth. Mr. Speaker, sir, the rising costs in commodity, as I had mentioned earlier, are beyond governmental control. This challenge is a global phenomenon affecting countries worldwide, and my ministry will leave no stone unturned to ease the burden on consumers while ensuring the country's economic stability is maintained.
For a reply. But she hasn't answered the question at all. My question was whether her ministry will consider the policy of a blocage de prix pour un certain temps sur un certain nombre d'articles. Est-ce qu'il y a une étude qui a été faite dans ce sens, Madame la Ministre, concernant cette possibilité-là, qui a été appliquée à la Réunion avec succès et qui va devenir probablement une politique adoptée par le nouveau gouvernement en France?
Mr. Speaker, sir, no study has been made here right now, but in order to ease the burden on consumers and mitigate the effect of rising prices, the government has introduced several measures to safeguard the purchasing power of consumers, right? Such as the CSG allowance, child allowance of 2,000 rupees for children, the revenue minimum guarantee, salaire minimum guarantee, school allowance for what is the increase in pension. So, we are helping the population through other measures.
Honourable Minister, whether her ministry has considered the possibility of subsidizing locally produced items.
Right now, we haven't discussed about that, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Right. Next question, Mr. Itu.
Thank you, Speaker. B649.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in 2021, government rolled out an unprecedented national flood management program to the tune of 11.7 billion for the construction and upgrading of drains project over 3 years, starting with the high-risk flood-prone areas. I'm informed, Mr. Speaker, sir, that as at date, as I mentioned earlier, but come back again in that question, which is spearheaded by the Land Drainage Authority, comprises of 1,700 drain projects, which are being implemented in several institutions as follows: 952 projects by the NDU, 56 projects by the Drain Infrastructure Construction Limited, 39 projects by the Road Development Authority, 716 projects by the local authorities. Mr. Speaker, sir, since the coming up of the National Flood Management Program in the financial year 2021-2022 to date, 596 projects for a total amount of 4.9 billion have been completed. 161 projects for a total amount of 4.3 billion are under construction. 71 projects estimated at 5.3 billion are at bidding stage. 911 projects estimated at 39.4 billion are under design stage. These drains works, which aim at reducing risk of flooding in flood-prone areas, comprise the construction of new drains, as well as the upgrading and maintenance of existing drains across the island. Some examples of flood-prone areas which have been rendered resilient to flooding and where the risk of inundation has been greatly mitigated are Canal Anglais, Cité Roman, Richter, Belle Source, Pamplemousse, Camp la Cloche, Pointe-au-Piment, Fond du Sac, Cottage, L'Amitié, La Paix, Piton, Petite Julie, Tatamaka River, La Caverne, Canal Aliman, Vaqua, La Flora, Chemin Grenier, and Pink Pigeon in Queen Victoria. Mr. Speaker, sir, road networks which were previously subjected to flooding have also been rendered safe through the construction of new bridges and culverts of higher hydraulic capacity. Some examples are Enjoncé, Vieux Grand Port, Saint-Denis Bridge, Tatamaka River, La Caverne, Constance, La Brasserie, Cité Atli, Mapou, Nouvelle-France, M1 at Richter, and l'Espérance Quartier Militaire. Mr. Speaker, sir, our effort to build up resilience over several other regions throughout Mauritius are ongoing. For example, drain projects are currently being undertaken at Souillac, Nouvelle-France, Mortaba, Dynamo Street, Tayac, Dakri Bambou, Balisson Union Park, Nouvelle-France, Sans Souci, Montagne Blanche, Providence, Saint-Pierre, Saint-Julien, Valletta, Trois-Boutiques, Petit-Verger, Camp-de-Masse-Pavé, La Laura, Vallée des Prêtres, Canton Nancy, Pamplemousse, Rivière des Anguilles, Anderson Road, Cupip, Kestrel Lane, Terre-Rouge, and Saint-Jean, Quatre-Bornes. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have repeatedly mentioned in this House, there is no dry feed policy to eliminate flooding. This is evidenced by flooding events which have been occurring worldwide throughout the year. there is no specific time for such an event to occur. Recent example of flooding which occurred in the US, China, Dubai, and even Europe, leading to hundreds of casualties and fatalities. Mr. Speaker, sir, the priority of this government is and will be to safeguard the lives of the citizens at all costs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes. Honorable too.
Thank you, Speaker, sir. Honorable Minister, and the House will agree that the government has accomplished a Herculean task by setting up of the National Flood Management Program. The land drainage master plan has already been accessible, and funding to the tune of 11.7 billion rupees is now available for the implementation of flood projects, drain projects, sorry. Can Honourable Minister please inform the House what is delaying all the implementation of these projects that are still being awaited, and what are the challenges that is he facing? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. In fact, this is a very pertinent and interesting question to deal with. Despite having I should thank the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister to have given us the required budget, but unfortunately, very often, we don't have the right of entry on lands, especially when we have to acquire private properties or we have to work within privately owned areas. Very often the negotiations are very tedious. There's long negotiation, and very often we also face challenges. You can tell me, why don't you go for compulsory acquisition? Then how do you prevent that person from going to the court and trying to resist giving that plot of land? So this is a long procedure that we are having to go through. You realize if you are building 1 kilometer of drain, you have one person in the middle who oppose the whole project get blocked. Because here we are talking about drain. We have to take the water to a safe discharge point. That's one. Secondly, l'île Maurice aujourd'hui est un chantier à ciel ouvert. Alors, we have also here a problem of having contractors. A lot of our local contractors have their diary full. I think Solange is no more writing anywhere in the diary. There's no place in the diary. So this is why now we're also trying to see other avenues to try to get experts from elsewhere. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So next question, Honorable Dulab.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, B650.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, during the budget vote for financial year 2019-2020, funds were allocated to my ministry for the implementation of the project through a grant with Abu Dhabi Fund for Development. The grant agreement was signed in February 2019. HSCC, a Government of India company, was appointed a project consultant. Despite facing 2 years delay in project preparation and design due to COVID-19, Ministry stayed committed in delivering this healthcare infrastructure. Following international bidding exercise, the contract for the construction of new high hospital at Redjui was awarded to Varindera Construction on 18th July 2022 for a contract value of 714,676,558 rupees. Mr. Speaker, sir, the commencement date of works was 29th July 2022, and the extended completion date is 30th September 2024. The 108-bedded and 7-storied facility, having 4 operation theaters and 6 ICU beds, is intended to be operational by the beginning of next year.
Yes, Honorable Dulab.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Minister just mentioned that the hospital is intended to be operational early next year. Can the Minister confirm whether ophthalmology services will be maintained at the new Suyak Hospital, currently being offered there?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, likely this will be maintained due to the growing number of cataract surgeries that has to be performed with the increasing proportion of the aging population. Likely the facility in the south will be maintained because at present the cataract surgeries, some are being contracted to be conducted by the private clinics, and likely in the future we have to at the same time run Suyak Hospital to deliver the service on time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Can the Minister inform the House whether, with the opening of the new eye hospital, he intends to repurpose the actual currently operational Subramania Bharati Eye Hospital in Mocha?
Sorry, please.
Does your ministry intend to repurpose the Subramaniam Bharati Eye Hospital, the current eye hospital of Mocha? Does your ministry intend to repurpose with the opening of the new hospital in Reddy?
Yes, so once all the services at Subramanian Eye Hospital will be shifted to the new eye hospital, and the facility over there, that will be taken for the time being. The minister has decided to keep it as a center for contaminated diseases, such like, at least we have one center where all these infectious diseases can be admitted.
Honorable team, next question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. B651.
Mr. Speaker, sir. The recognition of conformity certificates, as announced in the annex to the budget 2024-2025, is in line with the ease of doing business mandate to make it easier for businesses to trade, import, and manufacture in Mauritius. Mr. Speaker, sir, the control for electric cables exists since more than 3 decades. In the past, most importers could not produce conformity certificates for electric cables. The prevailing Consumer Protection Safety Requirement Regulation 2019 provides for mandatory testing of the electric cables by the MSB to ensure that they meet the required standards. In fact, these regulations already recognize conformity certificates for a number of items, including electric water heaters, automatic circuit breakers, residual current switches, leakage module, flexible tubes, pipes and hoses, hair dryers, table fans, wall fans, dishwashing machine, clothes washing machine, whirlpool bath, etc. For these items, there is no need for a further testing by the MSB. In line with ease of doing business, the conformity certificates as per European standards or British standard for electric cables insulated with plastic materials other than armored underground electric cables are being recognized similar to other electric items. This measure is in line with the rationalization of norms and standards to meet international norms. Government is, as it is the case for a number of electric items, recognizing the certificates of conformity, for instance, which are meeting EU standards, will no longer have to go through an additional layer of mandatory local testing by the MSB, which has an impact on the time taken and the cost of sales of operators and ultimately on the retail price of products. My ministry has received representations from operators, and I am also informed that the Economic Development Board has also received similar representations to facilitate trade and to improve the ease of doing business in Mauritius. As per established procedures for amendments to be made in any legislation, there is a need for in-depth consultations with relevant stakeholders and authorities concerned. As at date, no amendment to Consumer Protection Safety Requirement Regulation 2019 to allow full recognition of conformity certificates for electric cables has been made. Mr. Speaker, so in view thereof, my ministry has initiated the consultation process with a view to consider all implications involved, given that quality standards should be ensured. Thank you.
Yes, only one supplementary in view of the time. Only one.
Okay, only one supplementary. My question was very specific regarding Mauritius Standard Bureau. So may I know from the Honourable Minister whether the Mauritius Standard Bureau has been consulted, and what was the advice given by the Mauritius Standard Bureau with regards to them ceasing to carry out tests on electric cables?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that the MSB has submitted their views regarding the implementation of the measure, and same are being considered, and further discussions are ongoing with the view of addressing any concern and to ensure the smooth implementation of the measure while ensuring product safety.
Right, time is over. Honourable members, question addressed to ministers. Table has been advised that the following PQs have been withdrawn: B654, B655, B658.
Mr. Speaker, I move that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provisions of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10.
Yes, sir. So the question is that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provision of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10. Those in favour say ayes. Those against say no. Aye. The ayes have it.
Statements by ministers.
Mr. Speaker, sir, with your permission, I shall make two statements to the House. I shall firstly make a statement regarding the renewal of the motor vehicle license known as Declaration, which is coming into full operation as from the 1st August 2024, and the first phase will concern owners of private vehicles involving some 350,000 vehicles. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House may wish to be informed of the numerous operations being carried out at the level of the NLTA with regard to the current fleet of 650,000 vehicles, which is increasing at a rate of 4% annually. In fact, there are at least 800 customers calling at the NLTA counters daily, and some 27 transactions are carried out on a monthly basis, with the highest frequency for the payment of motor vehicle license, out of which some 6,592 persons call at the head office, Cassis, Forestside and Flac. Mr. Speaker, sir, however, despite the introduction of the first phase online MVL in November 2018 for the renewal of MVL by owners of private motor vehicles, there has not been a proper uptake of this platform, being given that they have the choice between the traditional paper-based MVL, wherein vehicle owners physically call at the NLTA counters or at the post offices around the island, and the online MVL alternative. Many people are therefore not opting for the online system, and hence NLTA faces a high number of people converging at its counters at Cassis, Flac and Forestside. Sir, my ministry held several consultations with relevant stakeholders such as the NLTA, State Informatics Limited and the Central Informatics Bureau in order to enhance the online platform and make it more convenient to users. Following various tests carried out on the online platform for its effectiveness, same have been successfully attended to. As a result thereof, a cut-off date of 31st July 2024 for the MBL online phase 1 has been agreed by all stakeholders. However, there will be a transition period up to the 1st of December of this year for such transactions to be effected manually at the post offices only. As from the 2nd December 2024, owners of private vehicles will have to renew their MVL solely through the online platform. This e-service will serve as a one-stop shop to enable the public to renew their MVL and effect the appropriate payment online by virtually accessing the NLTA system, which is also connected to the insurance system. It is to be also highlighted that the online system has been enhanced to cater, amongst others, for the integration of the IPS gateway, whereby several options for payment, namely Juice, Blink, Mighty Money, and others are provided. Sir, a 24/7 help desk online facility has been set up by the NLTA to assist users encountering difficulties while using the online system. A sensitization campaign in that respect has already been launched on Friday, 19th of July, 2024 to ensure a seamless uptake of the online MBL system by owners of private vehicles, highlighting the above-mentioned aspects, including a request to all vehicle owners not to wait for the last date to effect the transactions. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that the completion of the development of the second phase of the online MBL platform involving all other types of vehicles, including those holding a public service vehicle license, is expected by the end of this year, and I shall inform the House on the exact timing and for which another sensitization campaign would be undertaken. Sir, the implementation of the first phase of the renewal of the online MBL will help in reducing queuing at the level of the NLTA, and vehicle owners will be able to effect payment for the renewal of their online MBL without any hassle and at the comfort of their home. I thank you. So I have a second statement to make on the status of the continuum of road safety education project in Mauritius, which is being implemented in line with the National Road Safety Strategy 2016-2025. The aim of road safety education is to reduce the risk of trauma from injury and death due to road accidents and to lay the foundations for safe road use. The Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit of my ministry, in collaboration with the MIE, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, Mauritius Institute of Education, Mauritius Film Development Corporation, and the Mauritius Police Force have been working together to impart road safety education to primary school students. As at date, the curriculum on road safety for grade 1 to 6 has been developed, and the road safety education pupil books and teacher's guide for grade 1 to 6 have already been distributed in schools. In fact, 86,000 school books have been distributed to the pupils of the different schools. The Ministry of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology has allocated 25 minutes per grade on a weekly basis for the teaching of road safety education as a compulsory subject in primary school curriculum. To make road safety education more appealing to students, the curriculum materials for road safety education for grade 1 and 2 have been digitalized. 28 animated videos in 3 languages, English, French, and Creole, for 28 lessons, and 31 interactive activities for grade 1, and 20 animated videos and 23 interactive activities for grade 2 have been produced. I'm pleased to inform the House that I launched the publications and the digitalized materials at the new Bamboo Geoffroy Government School at Bamboo on the 18th of July 2024 in the presence of the representatives of my ministry, TMRSU, Minister of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, the MIE, Mauritius Film Development Corporation, and the Mauritius Police Force. All the road safety education materials are available on the website of the Mauritius Institute of Education, which can be downloaded and used offline, and which are accessible on tablets of primary school students. They are also available on the TMRSU YouTube channel. As the way forward, all the published and digitalized materials would be edited and adapted for special education needs pupil by my ministry in collaboration with the Special Education Needs Authority, and the curriculum materials for grades 3 to 6 will also be digitalized in a phased manner. Mr. Speaker, sir, with this road safety education, we look forward to a reduction in road accidents in the years to come, as road safety education would create a new generation of citizens who we hope will be more diligent and courteous on our road. Before thanking you for your attention, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to thank my colleague, the Minister of Education, for assistance and collaboration.
Yes, Honorable Ramanou. Mr. Speaker, sir, with your permission, I would like to make a statement on the fire outbreak at the Rochebois transfer station. As this House may be aware, there was a fire outbreak on Saturday, the 27th of July, 2024, at Rochebois transfer station, which is operated by a private operator, the joint venture Serving Limited, Square Deal Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited. On Saturday, 27th of July 2024, at around 16:05 hours, a fire outbreak was reported by the contractor who operates and maintains the transfer station at Rochebois. The fire and rescue services were on site since 16:15 hours. The fire and rescue services deployed water tankers from various fire stations, and the contractor deployed 2 water tankers and a truck loader to break down the waste stockpile to enable the firefighters to adequately sprinkle water to extinguish the fire. It has been reported that one truck loader and one lorry found on the lower platform were completely damaged by fire. One personnel of the operator was severely injured and was promptly transported to G2 hospital for first-hand medical care. I am informed that the person has been transferred to the bench unit of Victoria Hospital for treatment. I am further informed that there were 2 other persons on site who were injured and were provided with proper treatment. I wish to convey my special thoughts and prayers to them and their families and wish them rapid recovery. Mr. Speaker, sir, the fire which propagated rapidly in the waste mass stacked on the lower and upper platforms of the station platform was significantly extinguished by the night of the Saturday 27th of July 2024, whereas the fire in the waste mass on the lower platform took more time and resources to extinguish. Officers of the National Environmental Laboratory came on site to monitor ambient air quality around the station and nearby residential areas. Mr. Speaker, sir, I effected a site visit on Sunday, 28th of July 2024, together with the Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Local Government, Disaster Risk Management, Honourable Anwar Usnu, and the officers of both ministries to assess the situation and to ensure that adequate resources are being deployed and site security is being reinforced. As at this morning, significant progress has been made with only mild smokes emanating from the transfer station. Mr. Speaker, sir, the National Environmental Laboratory conducted a first ambient air measurements using the portable gas analyzer on the 27th of July 2024, 2 ambient air measurements on the 28th of July 2024, and 1 ambient air measurement on the 29th of July 2024. The exercise was carried out at 5 monitoring sites, namely at Beach Tombeau near Community Center, Beach Tombeau Public Beach, Rochebois at Recreational Park, entrance of Terre Rouge Bird Sanctuary, and Route Abattoir. Tests were carried out to detect the presence of toxic gases, namely nitrogen monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, benzene, toluene, xylene, naphthalene, and formaldehyde. All the toxic gases screened at all the sites were below the detectable limits of the portable gas analyzer at the time of measurement and was thus compliant to the lowest observed adverse effect level, known as LOAEL. The LOAEL, according to the United States Environment Protection Agency, is the lowest tested dose of a substance that has been reported to cause adverse health effects on people and animals. As regards to observations made on site, for all the monitoring exercises, the smoke was moving in a general southeasterly direction towards the sea. As at date, the smoke is mild and of lesser intensity than observed on the previous days. Ambient air monitoring will be maintained. Mr. Speaker, sir, as regards the cause of the fire outbreak, investigations are being carried out by the police and the fire and rescue services, and preliminary reports are awaited. I wish to inform the House that the presence of inflammable aerosol containers and sprays have been found on site, and these are unpermitted waste at transfer stations. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Monday, 29th of July 2024, I chaired a meeting with the operators of all the 5 transfer stations, as well as the landfill, to emphasize the importance of security and access to the site, to draw their attention on better control on permitted and unpermitted types of waste, and to prevent the accumulation of waste. The operators were also reminded of their contractual obligations and responsibilities as custodian of their respective waste management facility. Furthermore, the contract provides for the types of waste that are permitted at the transfer stations in accordance with Part 1 of the first schedule of the local government dumping and waste carriers regulations, which also specifies the exclusion of chemical waste and hazardous waste. Following requests from the operators of the transfer station with regard to security of their staff, it was decided that the assistance of the police will be sought for regular patrols. Mr. Speaker, sir, as several members of the House are aware, there is a high presence of informal waste pickers operating around Rochebois transfer station to recover materials. The site where the current station stands was previously a dumping ground which existed for more than 5 decades or so. Informal scavengers were always found on that dumping ground. In 1992, dumping was stopped and the site was converted into a transfer station having a designated receiving area where waste collected using small lorries or transited before they are disposed at the landfill using long trucks. It helps to reduce both transportation costs and time as the waste collected or disposed at the landfill in larger volumes. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to refer to 2 reports on waste management which refer to the Rochebois site, namely l'Élimination des ordures ménagères, MATSIM, of 1976, and the Performance Audit Report number 5 of the Director of Audit, June 2011. The MATIM report made observations that there were at that point in time no inhabitants close to the site and recommended that alternative disposal sites be identified. As regards the performance audit report mentioned the construction of a new transfer station at Richter in replacement of the one at Rochebois. The construction of a new transfer station initially planned at Richter had to be cancelled because of objection from the public living in the vicinity. Gaining public approval for constructing new waste management infrastructure is always a challenge. In 2012, the Rochebois transfer station was upgraded to improve security on site, improve control access, and operational efficiency. It is noted with time that inhabitants constructed their houses closer to the transfer station and more informal waste pickers operated around the station. In view of the prevailing situation, this government is firmly committed to relocating the transfer station from Rochebois to another appropriate location. Mr. Speaker, sir, being conscious of the socio-economic reality of the waste pickers community, my ministry is proposing to have a meeting with relevant stakeholders, such as the Ministry of Local Government and Risk Management, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Ministry of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity, Ministry of Commerce and Consumer Protection, the police, NGOs in the region, amongst others, to find possible remedial actions to address the issue. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to highlight that besides addressing the issues of Rochebois transfer station, my ministry has already embarked on a new waste management strategy and action plan to improve the whole chain of waste management with focus on resource recovery, recycling, and environmentally sound disposal of residual waste. As far back as 2015-2016, it was recognized that based on the landfilling rate and the existing design capacity, the Marchicos landfill would reach saturation in 2018. The first option was to look for land to set up new landfills. On the 16th of January 2017 and 8th of March 2017, the Ministry conducted 2 expressions of interest exercises to identify landowners who could provide land for setting up of a landfill, but this exercise has proved to be non-conclusive. The possibility for securing private plots of land adjacent to the existing landfill and belonging to small planters was also explored. However, this would have entailed lengthy acquisition legal procedures, and it was concluded that it would be unrealistic to rely on this option. The only option was to extend the landfill vertically as far as possible on the same footprint of the existing landfill with an additional stretch of land along the western and southern perimeter of the landfill. In December 2017, government gave its approval to proceed with the project of vertical expansion of the Marchicos landfill. In December 2018, following a procurement exercise, a consultancy firm was recruited to conduct a feasibility study and come up with an optimal design of the vertical expansion of the landfill, and accordingly prepare the detailed design, tender documents for the works operations contract, and provide supervision services throughout. However, delays were encountered in various phases of the consultancy with regard to geotechnical investigations. Tender for the vertical expansion was finally launched in December 2020, and following evaluation at the level of the Central Procurement Board, the latter recommended in April 2022 the annulation of the exercise. A fresh tender exercise was thus undertaken with launching in April 2023, and after evaluation of bids at the Central Procurement Board, the contract for vertical expansion was awarded in June 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, a key project in line with our circular economy roadmap, which my ministry is undertaking, is the implementation of 2 regional integrated waste processing facilities comprising sorting units and composting plants under a public-private partnership. Following a procurement exercise under BOT Projects Act, the contract will soon be awarded. This project will enable the diversion of a significant amount of waste landfill. This project is underpinned by segregation of waste at household, commercial and industrial level. Other projects which my ministry has undertaken pertains to the construction of 3 déchetteries at La Laura, Poudreau and La Chaumière to enable waste generators to bring sorted waste for eventual recycling. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir.
Second reading.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I move that the Maurice Strategy Board Bill number 11 of 2024 be read a second time. It is with great honor that I present today this bill to this House. The purpose of the bill is to perpetuate Maurice Strategy at the Economic Research and Planning Bureau of the country. Economic research and planning are the foundation of effective public policy. It enables us as government to understand the economic, social, and environmental dynamics that shape our country. Through in-depth research, Maurice Strategy will identify the challenges and opportunities we face and develop strategies that maximize the benefits for our nation. The setting up of such entity will also provide Mauritius with the opportunity to learn from international best practice and adapt this knowledge and experiences to our specific context. Mr. Speaker, sir, strategic planning is key to anticipate future trends, define clear objectives, and mobilize the resources needed to achieve them. It allows to align public efforts with a common vision for our future and to measure our progress in a transparent and accountable way. In this context, the work conducted by Maurice Strategy as a statutory body will focus on 3 fundamental pillars, which are economic growth, environmental sustainability, and social cohesion. To achieve these ambitious goals, we will need to rely on reliable data and rigorous analysis. This means strengthening our data collection capabilities, promoting interdisciplinary research, and fostering collaboration between the public, private, and academic sectors. Mr. Speaker, sir, with respect to the economic sphere, Maurice Strategy's research will enable us to better understand the sectors driving growth and innovation. It will help the authorities to identify the most effective fiscal and monetary policies to stimulate investment, employment, and productivity. Strategic planning, meanwhile, will guide us in the allocation of budgetary resources, ensuring that every rupee spent generates maximum value for our economy and our people. On the environmental front, research conducted by Maurice Strategy will be essential to assess the impact of our actions on our ecosystem and to develop sustainable solutions. Planning will enable us to set targets for reducing carbon emissions, managing natural resources, and preserving biodiversity in line with our 2030 objectives. Finally, in terms of social cohesion, Maurice Strategy will be tasked to provide us with valuable insights into the needs and aspirations of our citizens, especially the most vulnerable ones. Mr. Speaker, sir, against this background, this bill provides and sets clear objectives and functions of Maurice strategy. As such, Maurice strategy will provide support to the government through the development of short-term to long-term plans, visions, and strategies. Undertake in-depth economic research and analysis to support policy choices, drive public debate, and provide recommendations to support collective choices on social, economic, and environmental issues, and evaluate government policies. Mr. Speaker, sir, this critical legislation will establish a robust framework and empower Maurice strategy with the necessary tools to operate efficiently and deliver exceptional results. This includes the authority to request relevant information, documents, research findings, and data from any public sector agency. Maurice strategy will therefore have comprehensive access to resources required to fulfill its mandate. Furthermore, to guarantee a unified approach across government agencies, the Maurice Strategy Board is comprised primarily of specific positions within relevant agencies and not individuals. These appointments are based on expertise and not political affiliation, as our opponents have mistakenly suggested. This guarantees that Maurice Strategies leverages the best minds available and safeguards the institution's longevity. Mr. Speaker, sir, in a significant move towards greater inclusivity, we are expanding the composition of the board of Maurice Strategy in line with suggestions received during consultations with various stakeholders, including private sector associations and international development partners. This will ensure that the critical perspectives of the private sector and academia are directly represented at the decision-making table. It must be highlighted that a cornerstone of our government program for this mandate under the leadership of our Prime Minister is the establishment of an Economic Research and Planning Bureau. While the opposition talks about economic planning, they never mention it in their past electoral manifesto. This vital initiative will serve as a collaborative platform fostering a spirit of partnership between public and private sector entities. Through this combined effort, we aim to propel our nation's economic growth trajectory on a sustainable and inclusive path. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the current global climate, characterized by the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and ongoing geopolitical uncertainties, it is essential for Mauritius to foster long-term economic resilience. By implementing a comprehensive medium to long-term economic plan, we will strategically navigate these challenges and unlock transformative opportunities for our nation's prosperity. Last but not least, allow me to say a few words on the collaboration with international stakeholders. Here, allow me to express our sincere appreciation to the Agence Française de Développement, which is currently financing the services of a consultant from Expertise France to assist in the structuring of Maurice Strategy, the construction and integration of the tools and methods required to carry out the missions of Maurice Strategy, and the development of the annual work programs. I would also like to highlight that since its inception, Maurice Strategy has been collaborating with other international development partners, such as the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and the World Bank. Once again, and to conclude, the support and commitment of these international stakeholders clearly highlight how important Maurice strategy is already and will be even more in the coming years. To conclude, allow me to say that Maurice strategy is not a nice to have, but definitely a must have for the future of our nation, of our country, and of our people. On these words, I thank you for your attention.
I suspend the sitting for half an hour.